You are bold, you are fearless, you are radiant. It's time to unlock the diamond from within. BFF, we rise above, stronger together, we shine with love. Faith unshaken, hearts on fire, fearless souls, we're reaching high.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the BFF Empowerment Podcast, and specifically the Women on the Rise segment of the BFF Empowerment Podcast. I am your host, Blaque Diamond, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Miss Kelly Keefe. She is an author, a speaker, and a transformational coach who is dedicated to helping individuals overcome fear, embrace confidence, and also live their purpose. So thank you so much for joining me today, Miss Keith.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. Your podcast is so inspiring, so I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you so much. So do you mind telling the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So I am a transformational frequency mentor. And what does that mean? Essentially, I support women in tapping into and refining into their authentic expression. I like to say made by design.
Mm-hmm.
So moving through the spaces of from the vibrational, a clearing out of the fears and the traumas and all the density that can hold us back from being in our authentic, confident expression and living on mission. So we do that through writing, through coaching, and through energy work.
Oh, wow. Sounds like everything I'm actually already doing.
Yes, that's what, girl, that's why you're holding a space.
Yes, ma'am. Because I'm also an author and I'm also, well, by the time this episode airs, I will be a certified women empowerment life coach.
Congratulations. Amazing.
Thank you. I've always done it naturally, so now I'm just making it official.
Yes, so good. How long was that process?
So I've been taking my classes. I'm actually at the end. I'm doing my practicum right now where I actually have to sit down and coach a client.
Great.
So I did like the whole book part of it, book work, doing the videos, doing the quizzes and all that stuff. So now I'm actually doing the actual coaching in
Beautiful.
order to earn the certification. So it's been about 3 months.
Okay, nice. That's a commitment.
Yes, yes.
Amazing.
All right. So how long have you been coaching?
Yeah, so I've been in the coaching sphere for 15 years now,
Mm-hmm.
which is wild that the number kind of keeps growing, which means my number's growing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, it began in 2016. I opened the heart space. Figuratively, literally, probably opened it probably 5 years prior to that. That began with coaching and energy work, and so it's grown and expanded since there. And I've done numerous different leadership coaching certifications, transformational NLP, subconscious rewiring, just to continue to build the repertoire to be able to pour into the humans.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you said you started in 2016. What motivated you to start this journey? Was it something personal in your life or just something you've always been interested in?
Yeah, honestly, Black Diamond, I really like to say, like, people be like, oh, so why did you choose this journey or this path? And I'm like, I don't think I chose it. I really feel the path
It
chose me.
chose you. Okay.
It's always been innate in my being. And then in 2012, I had already gone through a 4-year massive weight loss journey, changing my college degree without really understanding why I was switching from education to business management, but just the intuition was coming online. I knew it to listen. And in
Mm-hmm.
2012, I was in a meditation and I heard clear as day, look up healing modalities. You are a healer. And I was like, what was that? But I knew I needed to listen. And so I
Mm-hmm.
pulled out the laptop. and I Googled it and I came across Reiki. And when I clicked on the link, a huge wave of energy moved through my body.
Mhm.
I was like, what the actual bleep, And so I tried to ignore it. And 2 or 3 days later, I was working out of a Barnes and Noble in New Jersey, and I was procrastinating on Facebook, and somebody popped up on like the people you may know. And this human pops up, and everything in my being tells me I need to know this person. So I
Mhm.
request and I messaged them. I said, listen, this is weird and bold, but I'm a weird and bold person. I know we're meant to be friends. And immediately he writes back and he's like, I love new friends. And we start becoming two clowns. Okay. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. Great job, intuition. Like, this is definitely a friend in the making. Within
Mhm.
20 minutes, he asks what I'm actually up to. And I tell him where I'm at. He said, oh, interesting. I'm walking in the doors of the Barnes and Noble Princeton Market Fair right now.
Wow.
So within 20 minutes of human on the internet, of me saying I need to know this person, we're now sitting face to face having tea in a bookstore.
Mhm.
And he's this super fit, dreaded yogi man, patchouli in the air. And
Wow.
I was like, something happened to me a few days ago that I haven't told anyone, but for some reason I feel I can tell you. So I tell him the whole situation, and he goes, that's interesting. I said, what? He said, oh, come on. You know the cliche phrase, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. I'm a Reiki master, so I guess I'll be your first teacher on the path.
Wow. That was bold.
It was It was out of a movie. Honestly, like it's insane of how cinematic it all was. But
Mhm.
from that moment on, my life has never been the same. It's
Mhm.
been so divinely orchestrated and the path leading its way. People arriving, giving guidance, getting certifications, traveling the globe all of my 20s, sitting with different spiritual leaders and indigenous elders and building the toolbox, just knowing that, building the heart space and now building the frequency field is what I'm here for. So it's
Wow.
really anytime I've tried to deviate to go do something else, I always get pulled back in where it's like, no, 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 you get your butt back on mission.
I totally understand. Because as you can tell, I'm a new podcaster, but I've always kind of been the guest on everyone else's podcast for the
Mhm.
past, 15 years. And like something just kept nagging at me, just like, you need to start your own. But I didn't want to do it on my own. I didn't want to do it by myself. So I just kept putting it off
Mm.
until I was thinking about my friends and who could be a good partner and all of this, and I was like, okay, yeah. So I picked someone, we talked about it, we started it, didn't work out because they weren't as
Mhm.
dedicated as I was. So I'm like, you know what, I didn't want to do it by myself, but you know what, I'm ended up doing it by myself.
Mhm.
So I guess that's how it was meant to be to begin with. I
Yeah.
just didn't want that, but I've always, been a very empowering person just because of my journey. And so
Sure.
I've always been a motivational speaker, an author, a poet, so people have always heard my story from me being a guest on other podcasts. So I was like, you know what? Now it's time for me to do the same.
Um,
And not only continue sharing my story, but help others to share their stories.
Yeah, so good. I love what you say there too of I didn't want it. I didn't want to do it on my own, but the way that, God orchestrates things is not, we don't always get what we
Mm-hmm.
want, but we get what we need and we get what needs to get done.
Yes. And I
Like
was like, I've been doing it. I'm like, oh, I can't do this on my own.
yes, yes. Oh, so
So
good.
yeah, definitely divine timing and everything, happens the way it's supposed to, even though we may resist it.
Yes. Amen. So good. That's what I have a ongoing program called Becoming 365, and it's a
Hmm.
daily message to the group. Sometimes more on the energetic, sometimes on the spiritual, sometimes in the practical personal development for this continuous growth throughout in the art of becoming who it is that we're here to be and really staying on mission. And the other day we were talking about it like divine delays are exactly that. Like,
Hmm.
there's no mistakes. Like the divine delay, if something's not happening at the timing that we're wanting it, there's probably a reason. Maybe we
Exactly.
need to grow in ourselves to, have a new skill set to then be able to not only receive the thing that we're wanting, but to be able to hold it and sustain it. Or
Exactly.
the other person's not ready. I just love when we can like zoom out and be like, wow, it's all so perfectly, divinely orchestrated that we can't make it up.
That is so ironic because that was actually my motivational quote on one day because I come up with and that's exactly what I was talking about, divine timing and, God's time frame. And even though, and I think I said, delaying something doesn't mean like you're giving up on it. It
Yeah.
just means that you're putting it aside for a later date when
Yes.
that time is more aligned with when that event, that item, whatever that is supposed to happen.
Yes, that's been I think I'm not surprised at all. Soul sister and I'm submitted. We were both receiving the codes to transmit. I'm not surprised. I think it
Yes.
was on Monday, which not even surprised, and I love that. But this is, a great example of that as well is I have a novel hitting bookstores globally on August 28th. So we're
Mhm.
in the final stretch here, and this has been a 5-year process.
Wow.
And there was a season where, communication went radio silent for 6 months. I was like, is this book like what happened? Like, we are under contract. What is happening? But seeing within those 6 months and then how much I had grown, to be able
Mhm.
to see that I was able to negotiate to be able to create my own cover, which matches the essence of the book far more than what,
Mhm.
was being created. And seeing to be now in book launch mode to see the support team that I've accumulated and where I live that allows an amplification of the community. Like in those moments, looking back of how much I like to say like my human was humaning, like
Mhm.
of how much my human was humaning over things. And it's like, it was a blessing,
Yes.
and that reframe of being able to just like, woosah at
Mhm.
any moment, because don't get me wrong, my humans still be humaning.
Yeah, that I really do believe in the divine, timing and things like that because like I actually just published in April my first nonfiction book that was based on my true, life and being a survivor of domestic violence and sexual abuse. And something for years I had been wanting to write the book and I
Yeah.
just kept putting it off and putting it off and then just something was like, you need to finish the book. I had started it, but I just never finished it. And something just kept telling me to finish the book, to finish the book. So I finally did, published it in April,
Congrats.
and it has taken off like ever since. Like I've gotten, new speaking engagements because of it, which I have next week.
Congrats.
Um, I've actually been, I am a contestant now in a pageant, my first pageant at 35 years old.
That's fun.
It's a Miss Diva Empowerment pageant.
Awesome. Oh, that's so fun.
So, like, it has opened like so many doors now for me now that I just took that leap of faith and went ahead and published my story. I've always shared my story, but I guess people seeing and hearing it because it's also available as an audiobook. But that really kind of I don't know, it just really, really took off. And I'm just like, oh, so many doors have been opening for me now ever since.
Oh, well, may they continue to open and be able to feel that knock. I think it's interesting where, especially as women, there's so much programming we're getting to unstructure of being seen and being heard. And
Mhm.
the art of putting out a book, especially with our story, within
Mhm.
it, like that's a level of vulnerability that takes massive, courage. And to
Mhm.
be able to put ourselves all out there. And I feel that's something that a lot of people in general, but specifically women, right now, as we're in the time where people are starting to say, like, wait, I want to take up space. I want to be heard. I want to be seen. And
Mhm.
so by being able to see not only, wow, it can be done, like the book can be written and we can get it out there, but
Yes.
that it's safe to be
Mhm.
vulnerable. It's safe to be authentic. It's safe to see and really remember that there's the message is the mess that we've been through and that it's all been circling back what we're saying, divinely orchestrated. And I feel a lot of people are really drawing to that right now, and it's really beautiful to, to witness and get to be as authors and speakers and just helping women take up space. It's a beautiful time to be alive.
Exactly. Yeah, because I've always been kind of like a background person. Like I've always, kind of dealt with people locally that I know and but now I'm actually branching out and doing things more nationally and more internationally. Because I actually won a international book award.
That's good.
The International Impact Book Award for memoir slash trauma healing. And so that was like that's like my fourth award as an author. So I felt like getting that is really starting to help me, feel like, because I've published 14 books to date. So that made my 14th book.
Mm.
But
Okay.
getting that award was just like, wow, like I'm really here now. Like I'm really being seen and being heard and people are really, now that I've done this, they're actually going back to read my old books. Even though
Mhm.
those were all fiction and poetry and children's literature, things like that. That sale of this book and this award has, sparked people being interested in my other works.
So good. Oh, so good. Ah, celebrating that massively. And girl, that's
Yes.
real. I love real writers write. You are a real one. You write. You
Yes.
write.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
say this all the time in supporting some women in writing their first book right now, and it's like you gotta write. Like,
Mhm.
and I just think it's funny as a writer, this again, no matter how much I can support and mentor and teach, I always remind everyone I'm still human. I'm still growing through it, and the human will still human.
Exactly.
Like I have to remind myself, like, cool, you're a writer, but the hardest thing for a writer to do is actually sit down and write.
Sit down and write. Yep.
It's so funny of how it is, but I don't know if it's the same for you, and we all have our own unique writing process, but I have a feeling like when I sit down and I write, I always say, I don't write the book writes me.
Mhm.
It's really kind of a taking over and the energy kind of transmits out. And in a way
Mhm.
that kind of alleviates the pressure of the book, where it's like, it
Yes.
wasn't even me.
Mhm.
Cool, if you love it.
Like a lot of people do outlines and I don't. I
Yeah,
can't write like that. I just kind of sit down and just let it flow.
beautiful.
Like
Yeah.
I can't be like, oh, okay, well, this chapter is going to be this and this is long and this that and that. Yeah, it's just however it comes out is how I write it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I feel that's the sweet surrender of it. Something I love so
Mhm.
much about this process of the surrender and that perfect balance of, air quote perfect,
Mhm.
doing everything that can be done in the physical to support it, the container, the divine masculine energy. Everything you
Mhm.
can do to set it up so that way if it is to expand and to grow, it can flow with ease and be held, but surrender of any expectations of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've been writing since I was 11 years old. Like, so I've been
Um,
doing it for a very, very long
yes.
time, but I didn't start it publishing until 2016 is
Okay,
when I
cool.
kind of finally took that faith and was like, you know what? I was sharing like snippets of what I was working on social media, and then just based off of the feedback, people wanted more and more. So I'm like, you know what? I think I got something here. Because
Mm,
it's okay to love your own work, but when someone else loves it or you see the reaction from other people, that kind of gives you that boost of confidence that, okay, you're doing the right thing. It gives you that confirmation as well.
yes. Have
And
you
so
done all self-publishing?
all self-publishing, yes.
Okay. Okay. This is I self-published Rise Above Fear, a nonfiction that goes into the deeper understandings of what fear is, so we can stop
Mhm.
looking at it as something to just slay the fear and push it away, but actually how do
Mhm.
we befriend it and realize that it's a part of our team?
Mhm.
We're complex beings. And so being able to see we have so many members of the team that we have to help harmonize as much as possible to move together as a team. Otherwise, we're fragmented. That we understand like who fear really is and how does it operate and how to approach it with love and compassion so we can befriend it. And so
Mhm.
I self-published that in 2018, and we're doing this novel series right now through traditional publishing. So I'm getting to play with best like both worlds and really
Mhm.
get to explore how we want to do moving forward. So I have two books read in editing right now to just start cranking them out as well. So yeah, it's fun to hear everyone's different unique journeys and experiences with that.
Yeah, my 15th book is actually in the works. It'll actually be published. I'm hoping in October, at least by October, because it's actually a specific reason why. It's actually my fifth children's book, which is a
Nice.
picture book.
Mm-hmm.
And it is called Braille Superpower.
Oh,
So it's about a little girl named Braille who's blind,
mm,
and her school is doing superhero day, so she
mm,
comes kind of dressed as herself, and then she kind of spends the day teaching her class about what it means to be blind,
mm.
because I'm blind.
Yeah.
And I wasn't blind as young as the character is in the story, but I usually do children's books kind of based on my son's age and development, and he's 6 going on 7.
Cool.
So the character is like a 8-year-old little girl.
Oh, so
Um,
beautiful.
and so right now my illustrator is finishing up the illustrations and the formatting so that it can be ready for October, which is Meet the Blind one.
Good to know. Amazing. Cool. How old were you when your vision?
I was 15.
15. Okay.
And it was due to ongoing child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually what caused me to lose my sight.
Understood. Got it. I understand the power of your story.
Yeah, that's the kind. It started there, and then it went on from there as far as the trauma that
Sure.
I experienced, and so that's kind of where my story starts, and so that's why I love sharing my story with people so that they can see, like, despite all the adversities that have been, in my path, like I've been able to overcome every last one of them.
Yes. I always like to say, adversity has been the name of the game through the journey. And I think it's interesting where I think over the many years I had come up across many times of an assumption by some that, life had just been this, easygoing thing. And I just, like
Mhm.
I'm this air quote, this light because, life has just been easy. And it's like if you understood and I now share, but the adversity and the trauma that has been endured, through life from, age 6 all the way through, never really stopped.
Mhm.
That's the advanced healers have an advanced curriculum, I like to say,
Mhm.
and so it's there by design. And
Mhm.
it's not always the easiest, but I really believe it's I had a mentor once say, well, just remember you're here to be God's billboard. You're here to you're here to be the proof of what God can do, through you and everything needed to happen. So that way, when I meet someone, there's not too much that comes into my field that I haven't experienced, have someone close to me that is experienced, to have some level of
Mhm.
compassion
Exactly.
to be
Mhm.
able to meet that where it's okay, cool, well, let's be with this. It's a judge-free zone. It's the human experience. Let's be with that. Let's love on that. Let's heal that.
Mhm.
So we can grow through it because it's all by purpose and our mess is the message.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I did last month, since July was Disability Pride Month. And so I was sharing, just a lot of things that I've been able to accomplish and sharing my story, cuz yeah, most people meet me and they see me and they think, "Oh, you just seem so sweet," and you just they look at, my youthfulness and the fact that, I don't look like what I've been through, and they were like, yeah, I can't see anything happening to you.
Yep.
You just seem like life has just been so good to you. And I was like, if you only knew. Looks can definitely be deceiving. I'm a very peaceful and at peace person, but I said it took a long time for me to get where I am today. A lot
Mm.
of self healing.
I'm with you, girl.
So don't be fooled.
Yeah.
All right. So you said you said that is going to be book number 4?
It's going to be book number 2 out in
2.
the
Okay.
world. There's 4 written. There's 2 more in the queue. So this is the first, it's a fiction novel.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first of a trilogy series.
Ooh.
So that will be out on August 28th. Available on Amazon, but also on all the major retailers and bookstores
Mm-hmm.
worldwide.
Yeah, that's how I do mine. I actually just did an episode also on like my self-publishing journey and just kind of giving those who aspire to be self-published authors or poets. And so yeah, I make sure I publish all of my books to all major online retailers because I don't want to limit my, reach. And sometimes I'm surprised when I get, a notification saying, "Oh, you have a royalty from such and such store." And I'm like, somebody buys books from there?
Mhm.
Like, I've never even heard of this place, but okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm not limiting myself to just being like an Amazon author. If that's, what somebody wants to do, then yeah, that's great for them. But for me, I'm all about diversity and spreading my message as far and wide as I can. So I want to make sure that it's available wherever it can be.
Hmm. Great.
All right. And so with your speaking engagements, what topics do you speak on?
Yeah, I have a few signature talks. Rise above fear, of being able to
Mm-hmm.
tap into our power and overcome fear to live on mission. And then we also have of permission granted and
Mm-hmm.
going deeper into understanding the limiting beliefs and the programs that have been put upon us to be able to rewrite them to then fully rise. And then rooted and rising, how to live in our authentic leadership
Mm-hmm.
while being highly spiritually connected.
Oh, I like all of those. I actually have an acronym for the word fear. That I like to use because I said, yeah, fear always usually has a negative, connotation or people always think it of as a negative thing. But my acronym for it is faith encompasses awesome roots.
Beautiful.
So that's kind of how I play on the word fear now. I'm like, you can look at fear as a positive thing now. Just think you have faith in yourself or a higher power, then yeah, there's rewards. There's something to be gained from having this type of fear.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always fear is a good indicator that we're growing and expanding somewhere. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it deserves to be listened to because sometimes it can be valid.
Yes.
It's not a okay, well I'm feel just an automatic, okay, I'm feeling fear. So cool, it's just a sign that it's growth and let's go. It's a space of, inquiry and listening and
Mm-hmm.
learning and being able to see, is this just you're afraid of stepping into the unknown and growing into something you've never been before? Because there's the ego, not our like, oh, you have such a big ego, the ego of the brain, its role is to keep us safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so at any time, if we're going through and we're stepping into something that is an unknown, that part is going on high alert and saying, wait a second, not safe, not safe. We don't know what's going to happen. This could happen. This could happen. We're going to die.
Yes.
And it's like, what's interesting is that part, there's pieces of truth to it because when we step beyond the fear and we grow into that new unknown, a part is going to die. Our physical vessel's not going to, our essence, our purpose, all the things that need to come to the next step of the journey's not. But
Mm-hmm.
that fragmented part that's trying to hold us into that comfort zone, it is going to start to fade away. And so when we
Mm-hmm.
can look at it, it's like, oh, there is an element of truth to the fear, but we get to remind all the other parts, hey, only the part that doesn't need to come with where we're going is
Mm-hmm.
going to drop off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to fully just focus on the part that scares you or that, look at it as a whole. Like fear can be, it's okay to have that fear, but don't let it, be the deciding factor.
Yeah, I like to say it's a member of the team. We
Mm-hmm.
have the emotions, we have the mind, we have the essence, the spiritual, we have the fear, we have the inner mother, the inner father, the inner child, inner teenager. There's a lot of parts hanging out in there. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just one member of the team. And if we look at it with, I like to use the analogy sometimes, in moments of life, it's like we give the fear the role of CEO when really it should just be like the director of like risk analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay,
Oh.
like how do we reorganize our parts so that the essence is CEO, and
Got it.
get the parts in their right spot, and then we can start to say, okay, cool, let's have a team meeting. Okay, cool. Yes, risk analysis. This is your time to give your report. What are you feeling? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're receiving that solid intake. Let me take that. And then as CEO, parts, where's everyone at? Let's make a sound decision that's in
Mm-hmm.
alignment of honoring all the voices within. Because again, if we don't honor all the parts, there's an element of self-abandonment at play,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to catch up to us. And so we can take these sustainable steps of growth in honoring all the parts so that the transformation and that growth can really stick with us.
Wow, I love it. It's definitely all about personal growth and just that empowerment and just the feeling of, yeah, feeling like you have it.
Yeah, and we all have it. That's like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the cosmic humor, where, and say this, within the frequency field and explain to people, my work, I'm not here to help you change. I'm not here to change you. I'm here to support you in remembering who you are and retuning to that version of yourself. You are already powerful. You are already clear of what you're here to do. You're already ready to do it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
how do we retune you to that frequency, that version of yourself, the authentic, made by design you, so that life flows more in that direction and you're being that version of you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so are you a Reiki healer or a Reiki master?
I am.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been teaching for 7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so what would like a day in a life of just doing one session with you consist of?
Um, so you can think of it like a massage in ways,
Mm-hmm.
except you keep your clothes fully on. I like to say it's kind of massage, like a massage for your energy body.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of work globally, so typically remote. And so it's
Mhm.
hopping on a call, dropping in, setting intentions, learning, what are the pain points, what are we working on? And then lying down, getting very comfortable. You know that you're doing it right if you do nothing at all.
Mhm.
It's the easiest growth.
Oh, okay.
And brought into a deep meditation in a relaxed state. And then typically what begins to happen is this feeling of being in a liminal space. Feel like I'm kind of sleeping, but I'm consciously aware of what's happening. And every session is different for every person. So
Mhm.
at times it may be feeling, sensations of warmth or cool moving through the body, maybe seeing like a montage of memories or visions, receiving messages, or just feeling deeply relaxed.
Mhm.
And then we come back to full consciousness, and then we would integrate together. And you would drink a lot of water.
Okay.
And then typically you'll feel a lot lighter in the mind. The mind becomes more positive, feel a lot
Mhm.
lighter in the body, feeling this deeper connection to your truth and to your intuition, and continue moving on with the day.
Okay. And do you do anything with like chakras?
Yeah, it's all a part of it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually had quite a few sessions over the years because I'm into different, spiritual beliefs and different things. So I've tried like I think a little bit of everything.
Mm, yes.
Just to keep and remain my positive, empowering self. So outside of, because I'm not a believer in religion, so I'm a spiritualist, so I believe in spirituality. So, I dabble on a little bit of different things as far as, yeah, spirituality, meditation, yoga, things like that. That, help me to remain grounded.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I love the pragmatism behind all of it as well. And it's really beautiful to see at this time the level of science that's beginning to back spirituality
Mm-hmm.
and this work. Because at the end of the day, we are all energy. When we look at
Mm-hmm.
it, that is the gift of life, what makes a body go from a corpse to a human. It's the energy that's moving through the body, and it's a frequency that we're emitting. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we continue to tap into understanding, wow, the energy that we're coursing through our body and that we're emitting in the world is having an impact because we're essentially a radio signal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I love the, grounded nature of looking at it of, oh, cool. Well, if you're, say, tuned in at, and anyone listening, these numbers don't mean anything for this moment. I'm just giving an example. If you're tuned in at radio station 100.1, okay, amazing. So you're going to hear the songs, the commercials, the programs that are at 100.1, and that's great. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you tune the radio to 103.5, you're going to hear different songs, different
Mm-hmm.
programs, different commercials because you're at a different radio
Right.
station.
Yes.
And so it's just the game of what frequency are we tuned into and coursing through our body, therefore emitting out into the world and receiving that reflection back. And so
Mm-hmm.
often the fears and the contractions and the denser energies can keep us exactly that, contracted and not and tuned into a different radio station than
Mm-hmm.
what it is that we are meant to be, tuned into. And are we each have our own very unique me by design frequency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all about, your vibrational energy. People don't realize, people kind of use it lightly or loosely, like, oh, you give off bad energy. But I'm like, that really does exist. Like, you can, like, walk up to someone and just feel that negative, that just, ooh, no, I need to stay away from this person. Like, you really can give off
Yeah.
bad energy.
Yeah. And I can say as again, because still a human, there
Mm-hmm.
can be, if there's a week, say I'm just like, why is everything off? Why am I crunchy? Why am I irritable? Why are things not in the flow? And stop and it's just like, well, I haven't been taking enough time to actually like spend the amount of time in meditation and energy clearing that I'm needing. Or this and that. Like it's a direct, and as soon as I going in and spending more time in the self-care and focusing
Mm-hmm.
and saying, you know what, physical world, I understand there's six plates spinning in the air. And the mind can tell me right now, I don't have time to do this. But when say, you know what, physical world, I'll be right back. You stay here. You keep spinning those plates. I'll
Mm-hmm.
be right back. And time to get my frequency right, things move.
Exactly.
Things get solved, people drop in, opportunities, doors open. And it's not to say, and that's, I think, where the new age can start to create some hiccups in some ways where it's not just about, okay, sit in your living room and just meditate and visualize and things are just going to drop in. It's the combination of the spiritual, physical.
Mhm.
But so often, seekers or beings who understand and they're wanting the mission, they're just physical, 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 and just saying, like, cool, but yeah, I believe, I believe. It's like, but what's your frequency? Are you tapped
Exactly.
into the frequency field you need to be tapped into for that expression of your being?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, that was powerful. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I love having conversations like this because
There you go.
people just, and the podcast is called BFF, and it stands for Beautiful Fearless Faith. But a lot of people, get it confused and think I mean faith as far as religion. But no, for me, faith is faith in not only yourself, but a higher power, whatever that higher power may be.
Yes. Yeah. That's when we can, I love, the art of that surrender. And for me personally, and when I continue to in my own life and those I work with, when I
Mhm.
continue like, cool, I'm here on a mission, guide me. And like, I can't do it alone. When I can stay humble, I stay confident.
Mhm.
I know I can do
Exactly.
this. This is a mission in my heart. And okay, I'm capable, I'm strong, I'm powerful. I got humans around me, this and that. But also to be able to say, but I know that I can't do it alone. And not just
Mhm.
from the physical, but also I'm willing to say, hey, show me. One of my favorite prayers, and for me, prayer means talking to the Most
Mhm.
High, and meditation is receiving the guidance, the conversation back. But, praying, bring who I'm meant to meet into my field today. Show me
Mhm.
where you want me to go. What do you want me to focus on? Just guide me. I'll listen. Guide me. I will listen. And
Yes.
it works.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sometimes too good.
Yes.
Because sometimes, they always say, be careful what you pray for because you just might get it.
Facts.
And it may not be what you thought it was going to be or what you wanted it to be, but you got it.
Facts. Facts. but
And
it
I've
was good
learned
that we
that
met.
hard lesson. I was like, oh, I need to be more specific. Oh, wow. Well, this has been a very enlightening conversation. Like, I love having conversations like this. It's the energy just feels clear and the vibe is just like, wow. Like, I love it.
Likewise, I appreciate you opening the space for it and for us to be able to resonate with one another, to be able to reach this frequency of conversation.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So we have come to my favorite part of the show. It's called What Is She Thinking? And so I will give you five random phrases. You give me the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't think too hard about it. It's just something fun to just kind of get to know you.
I love it.
What is she thinking? What are her thoughts? Quick, fast, no blinking. What do you got?
All right. So your first phrase is energy healing is.
Amazing.
All right. Next one is close the door because.
I need some space.
Okay. Next one. Two can play that game, but
It's more fun when there's four.
I like it. Next one. Cookies and cream.
Is my favorite ice cream.
Wow. Last one. Butterflies make me feel.
Happy.
Yes, they do. They're so just so beautiful and peaceful. Good
It is.
energy.
Yes.
Well, would you like to leave listeners with any of your contact information, website, social media, anything where you can be reached, where your books can be found?
Yeah, that'd be great. So you can find me on Instagram or on my website of the Kelly Keefe, TheKellyKeefe.com, or just the Kelly Keefe on Instagram. And you can get a copy of She at all major retailers or on Amazon. And you can pre-order that right now. So just SHE by Kelly Keefe.
All right, and all of that information will be included in the show notes for you guys if you want the direct links to be able to just click and go right to her website or Instagram. Anything else you want to let the listeners know before we sign off?
Yeah, I think, we cover so many gems in this. Just I encourage you to
Yes.
take some nice, like, deep breaths, drink some water, and contemplate on the space of, who are you becoming? What frequency wants to really move through you? Trust the timing and reach out. I would love to connect and be able to hear what really resonated with you and support you in any way that I can.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the BFF Empowerment Podcast. Don't forget to follow the podcast on all major podcasting platforms. You can also visit our website at bffempowermentpodcast.com. If you would like to be a Woman on the Rise guest, be sure to leave us a email at bffempowerment@gmail.com. If you like the episodes, like what you hear, be sure to leave us a review. Reviews matter. And if you can't leave a review, at least leave a rating. That helps as well. And so until next time, guys, talk to you later.